the Amazonian, special loyalty. Praise to our Savior who granted us the freedom. And never to the hero who brought the lonely gather. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in a nation, flowing with earth and holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty in our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty in our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation.
Dear friends, family members, and Southern Cameroonians, the past 6 months have been turbulent and grievously pernicious to our families following the abduction of my husband, Julius Ayuk Tabe, and other Southern Cameroonian leaders in Nigeria, and unlawfully transferred to Yaoundé and kept incommunicado for 6 months. It has been the most difficult of times with family and friends, but we are encouraged and very satisfied with the outpouring of support for the safety and well-being of our husbands, our brothers, our fathers, our sons who are still detained in Yaoundé. On behalf of the wives of the abductees, we are very humbled by this show of support, and we will remain forever indebted to your prayers and your moral and financial support. We want to thank the legal team in Nigeria and Cameroon for advocating for the release of my husband and the other detainees in Nigeria. We want to thank the interim government, the people of Southern Cameroon, and the international community for their unprecedented support rendered thus far. Today we are pleading to express our grave concern regarding the situation of the Southern Cameroonian refugees scattered in neighboring Nigeria and internally displaced in Cameroon. We also express concerns regarding the safety of my husband, Sisiku Tabe, as well as other abductees, and we ask for prayers and blessings to continue supporting our community by providing spiritual and financial assistance to the defense of our leaders and the refugees in this time of extraordinary humanitarian need. The enduring crisis in Southern Cameroon has brought unprecedented suffering to the local people and to those who have been forced to flee the region. As a result of this crisis, many families have been torn apart, resulting in children being separated from their parents, and furthermore, many of their families are still unaware of their whereabouts. As a mother and a wife, I feel the pain of all mothers and wives who have lost their sons and husbands in this crisis. May God grant them the strength and peace to endure in these trying times. We have reached a horrible stage in our lives as Southern Cameroonians. At no time in recorded history have so many men, women, and children had to flee their homes in Southern Cameroon. About 63,000 people are displaced and currently living in squalid and deplorable conditions in refugee camps in Nigeria, while over 160,000 more are internally displaced. Tragically, there appears to be no end in sight to the conflict that is responsible for 100% of these displacements. According to the UNHCR, the influx is continuing unabated. Distressingly and disturbingly, women and children make up about 80% of these refugees and IDPs. Many of them are women who are heads of their households because their husbands have been detained, killed, or forced to flee. We are beginning to see scenes reminiscent of suffering Ethiopian refugees in the 1980s. This information and the individual lives that are often hidden in the faces of these massive numbers require us to act, to galvanize our community and friends to support. The humanitarian needs have never been greater. The UN humanitarian appeal is now calling for almost $15 million for life-saving assistance, yet very little have been fulfilled. We, the wives, are the forgotten family members longing for the release of our husbands. We are the mothers longing for the release of our sons. And we are the daughters longing for the release of our fathers. It is hard to play the role of a father and mother during these very difficult times. We have the daunting task of defending our husbands, our brothers, our sons, and our fathers in court to prove their innocence. This will require huge amounts of money to help hire lawyers to represent them. With this in mind, a legal defense fund has been set up to help secure their freedom. To donate to this fund, please text Sisiku to 91999. Again, to donate to this fund, please text Sisiku to 91999. I want to call on Pope Francis to join the call for the release of all political prisoners in Cameroon, including my husband, because his role as leader of the Catholic Church is very vital. I want to call on the UN Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, President Trump, President Macron, Prime Minister Theresa May, President Buhari, to call upon the authorities of the Republic of Cameroon to help us accomplish the following: to unconditionally release all political prisoners, including my husband, Sisiku Ayuk Tabe, to expunge convictions of political prisoners and reinstate them in their rights, and to seek a lasting negotiated settlement of the Southern Cameroon crisis. Let us all continue to pray for the release of all Southern Cameroonian detainees and for their families. Thank you very much.
Thank you, people of Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia, for standing with our leader, His Excellency Sisiku Ayuk Tabe. We wish them good health despite the despicable conditions under which they have been kept by their jailers in La République du Cameroon. We also request that the international community prevail on Mr. Biya to release all our leaders, our leader and his team, and all political prisoners unconditionally. This should be followed by a unilateral declaration of ceasefire by French Cameroon and an immediate demilitarization of our territory to pave the way for an internationally mediated settlement. We reaffirm that our leader, His Excellency Sisiku Ayuk Tabe, and others have no case to answer in any La République court. They are British Southern Cameroonians. They are refugees and asylees in a foreign country and have no reason to be abducted and taken to La République du Cameroon to be tried. The courts of La République du Cameroon have no local standing to hear this case, and therefore the international community should require La République du Cameroon Military Tribunal to dismiss the cases and release our innocent leaders for lack of competence and because they are entirely innocent. Our leaders are pro-independent activists. They are no terrorists nor secessionists. Thank you.
the Amazonian, special loyalty. Praises to our Savior who granted us the freedom. Allegiance to the hero who fought the lonely Diablo. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in a nation, flowing with earth and holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation and joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty in our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty in our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation.